Hey there, so big news coming out of Kansas City today. Coach Andy Reid has made a surprising announcement about who's going to handle the left tackle position for the Chiefs leading into Saturday's game. And to be honest, I've got some mixed feelings about this. Let me break it down for you. Andy mentioned in his press conference that he's planning to rotate players in practice this week, but here's the headline. It looks like DJ Humphries might get the nod as the starting left tackle. That means Joe Thuney would slide back to his natural spot at left guard. At first glance, it sounds logical, players sticking to their strengths. But is this the right move? I've got to admit, I'm a little worried. Jay's performance against Denver wasn't exactly inspiring, and moving Joe away from left tackle, where he's been solid, feels like a gamble. But hey, Andy Reid is one of the best defensive minds in football. If anyone can make this work, it's him. What do you think? Should DJ Humphries start at left tackle? Type DJ in the comments if you agree, or JT if you think Joe Thuney should stay in that spot. Let's hear your take, so let's dive a bit deeper into this situation. Right now, we're talking about the key players competing for that left tackle spot. DJ Humphries and Joe Thuney. How do they stack up? Let's break it down. First off, DJ Humphries didn't exactly have his best game last week against Denver. According to Pro Football Focus, his pass blocking grade was just 30.5, which ranks him pretty low among starting tackles in the league. He allowed 2 sacks, 1 QB hit, and 6 quarterback pressures during that game. The numbers don't lie, he struggled to protect Patrick Mahomes' blind side. Now, contrast that with Joe Thuney's time at left tackle. We've seen him step into that spot before, and here's what stood out. During his 3-week stint at left tackle earlier this season, weeks 15 to 17, Thuney showed improvement. His overall grades were solid, particularly in pass blocking. Against Cleveland, he posted a pass blocking grade of 43.5, but after that, he improved significantly against the Houston Texans. A pass block grade of 63.5 in Week 17 against Pittsburgh. He even managed a 68-point to pass block grade. These are much better numbers, showing stability and better protection. Thuney's performance clearly gave the Chiefs better chances of keeping Mahomes clean compared to what we saw from Humphries. So, if you had to pick, who do you think would be a better choice at left tackle? Type DJ for DJ Humphries or JT for Joe Thuney in the comments. Look, we've seen this story play out before sometimes. Sticking to what works is the best approach. And right now, it feels like Andy Reid might be going against that logic. Let me explain why. Joe Thuney has proven time and again that he's a solid presence at left tackle. In fact, during his stint earlier in the season, the Chiefs' offensive line only gave up 1 sack in 3 games. That's a far cry from what we saw from DJ Humphries this past week: 2 sacks, a QB hit, and multiple pressures. The numbers clearly show that moving Joe to left tackle wasn't just okay, it was effective. Sure, Thuney isn't naturally a left tackle, but he proved he could hold his own in that role. His numbers, while not perfect, were still far better than what Humphries has shown. So why go back to a player who's had mixed results when you've got a proven option? Changing something that's working well doesn't seem like the smartest move, right? It's that old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But now, it looks like Andy Reid is doing exactly that, and it makes me wonder, is this decision too risky? Let me know what you think. Do you believe this switch is too risky, or do you trust Andy to make it work? Type risk if you think it's a bad idea, or trust if you think Reid knows what he's doing. Leave your thoughts in the comments while the left tackle position is grabbing. All the headlines, let's not forget the strength the Chiefs have right in the middle of that offensive line. And believe me, this might be what keeps the unit stable. Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, and even Joe Thuney, these 3 players have been rock solid this season. You can make a strong argument that this is the best interior offensive line in the NFL right now. Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith have been dominant in both the run game and pass protection, And with Joe Thuney anchoring the left guard spot, they've been able to hold their own against some of the league's best defensive fronts. When you think about it, this group has been one of the more reliable aspects of the Chiefs' offense. Sure, the left tackle spot is important, but with such a strong interior, they've been able to manage better than people realize. Remember, during Joe Thuney's time at left tackle earlier this season, the Chiefs only gave up 1 sack over those 3 games. That's impressive. So, while the left tackle gets all the attention, don't forget about this core group holding things down inside. It's not perfect, but it's far from the disaster that some are making it out to be. And hey, with this kind of stability in the middle, maybe the pressure on the quarterback won't feel quite so bad after all. What do you think? Do you agree that the Chiefs' interior offensive line is strong enough to make up for any weakness at left tackle? Let me know in the comments. Type strong if you believe in this line or needs work if you think more adjustments are still needed. Here's the big picture. No matter who lines up at left tackle, the real question is how this affects Patrick Mahomes. Because let's face it, keeping him protected is priority number 1. We all know how crucial Mahomes is to this offense. He's the heartbeat of the Kansas City Chiefs, and any disruption to his blind side could be costly. The left tackle is supposed to be the guy who keeps the pressure off Mahomes and allows him the time he needs to make big plays. So, how confident should we feel about DJ Humphries filling that role? As we saw in the Denver game, DJ struggled big time. He gave up 2 sacks, a QB hit, and a number of pressures that made Mahomes uncomfortable. It's not just about getting sacked, it's about disrupting Mahomes' rhythm. When he feels pressure, it throws off his timing and leads to forced throws, which could be costly. We've seen it happen before. On the other hand, Joe Thuney's time at left tackle earlier this season gave Mahomes the time he needed to perform at a high level. The fact that the Chiefs gave up only 1 sack during those games speaks volumes. That kind of stability can make a world of difference for a quarterback like Mahomes. So let me ask you, how much trust do you have in DJ Humphries protecting Mahomes' blind side? Do you feel good about it, or do you think it's a real concern? Type trust if you believe he can handle it, or concern if you think Mahomes needs more protection. Let me know in the comments. End of the day, it all comes down to trusting Andy Reid. We know he has a plan, but is this the right one? Coach Reid has built his reputation on making bold decisions, some that work, others that don't, but you have to respect his track record. He knows football better than just about anyone, and we've seen him turn things around in tough situations before. So when he says he likes what he's seeing from DJ Humphries, we have to give him the benefit of the doubt, right? Still, here's my biggest concern: what happens if DJ struggles again? What happens if those early games don't go well and Mahomes starts feeling pressure? The last thing we want is for this to snowball into something bigger, with the quarterback under constant duress. That's why I'm hoping Reid has a short leash on Humphries. If he's not performing, I hope Andy doesn't hesitate to switch things up and bring back Joe Thuney to the left tackle spot. This move could work, but it's risky. Reid's reputation is on the line here, and so is the Chiefs' playoff push. I trust that Andy knows what he's doing, but it's got to be effective from the start. No room for second guessing later on. So, what do you think? Do you trust Andy Reid to make the right call here? Or are you worried he's making a mistake? Type trust if you believe in his plan, or worrying if you think it's too risky. Let me know in the comments.